Welcome to Trading Lounge and the gold silver report for the 14th of April, and starting on the daily chart here. So as you know, we've been looking at the move down through here in a couple of different ways. One in a bearish move, and the bearish move can have a move down here as wave 3, then 4 and 5, or we could just have down to here there's a count just to finish here and move up as well. So we're looking at this bearish count, but we're also looking at a bullish count. So the bullish count is what I want to focus on today because it's taking priority over the bearish count, and I want to explain how and why. So there's two ways I can look at the bullish count as well, so I want to take a look at that as well. One of them is where we have this low in place here. The other one is where we look at this as wave 1 here and back for wave 2 here, and then wave 1 and wave 2 here. Now, it doesn't really matter. The other counts that we'll look at in a moment will be having blue wave 1 sitting over here. Now, the important point about all of this is that important point, I guess, is really this, not just this structure here, but this structure here. This is really the important one here for this, because if we were going to get whichever way you look at it, at the end of the day, it was really all about, once we got this top in play here, it was all about either having 3 waves down here or having 5 waves down here for this. And it appears, because of the move up through here, it appears that we can now call this one in here in 3 waves down here, as 3 waves here, and then moving higher at this point. So it's appearing that, it's not confirmed, but it's appearing that the bullish count is taking priority over the bearish count. Now, what I'll also need to work out as well, if this count is correct with wave 1 and 2 here and 1 and 2 here, or we have this in the low and we use this one here. So not that it matters, not that it matters today or just getting our positions into place. This is the other count here. So yeah, it doesn't matter which one it is. What we're just really looking for was, do we get this down here in 3 waves or 5 waves? And it hasn't reached the 61.8%, but it's reached quite close to the 50%. So that's kind of good enough. But what's really more interesting is this particular structure here, the moving down through here. So that's really what I want to have a look at today. So I can, and I'll take this into more detail here, but I can count this down here as an A wave, a B wave, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for the C wave, and done and dusted. Now, I don't have 5 waves up here just yet, but we could get that. We've got 1 and 2 here, and nice strong 3rd wave. We'll look for a 4th. So we still need a 5th wave here for 1 and ABC back for wave 2 here for this, and then that would, we talked about this yesterday, how about that would set up on the long trade, so we can go long above this one, but we need that impulse wave to finish here. But what I want to do today is I really just want to talk about this particular structure, and to do that, it's better if I go to the tick chart so you can see clearly with your own eyes what we're actually looking at here. So I'll just need to bring in a bit more data. Okay, so this is 100 ticks. So if we look at the top here as wave 1, just keeping it simple here, and then we can look at this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for the A wave here, and then the B wave pulling back here, and then the C wave down here. Now you can see that the C wave here has got with 5 waves in here for 1 and 2, and down for a nice strong 3rd wave coming down, a 4th wave and a 5th wave. So as a C wave, we've got a nice 5 wave structure in here. So as far as I'm concerned, that's pretty much done and dusted now as locking that in here. But as always, we like to get a little bit more confidence in what we're doing. So let me just use these here. I'll just squash these in here. So I will double check that there, but I just want to talk about the setup here to go long as well. So that's a little bit cumbersome. Let me just check on this for a second. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Oh, a bit dodgy, but that's okay. We're not going to get another fifth wave in there. That's the main point. It does look like we've got an impulse wave down here, so we could get another move down here for the fourth wave. A fourth wave pulls back 38.2%. So it's possible that we could get a move here. I don't know if it's the case. We make it just go up there as well, but even if we do go up here, the main point is here. What we want to see here is we want to see a new high above this top here. And then once we've got that new high above the top, so it could go straight up from here or down from here. I haven't had time to ponder this and resolve that puzzle yet. So, but what I do want to talk about is this next move here, because this is where it all becomes sort of interesting. Well, first of all, if we take this low and this high here, I'll just take it to 55 here, okay? So you can adjust it as you see fit. And what that will do is give us this space here for this to sit back on into. So we should, from here somewhere, we should see some sort of A wave, B wave and C wave. That can pull to the 61.8%, or it may just pull back to wherever these wave fours come into play here. So something of that nature. But what we're looking for is that high here to go long on here. You could also bring it down this way if you wanted to, but it's always kind of nice, a bit safe to be above the level here, especially if you're having trouble figuring out the wave structures. So if I have trouble with the wave structures, I always go to the price, I always go to the trading levels, and I ask myself, where's the closest largest number, and is it tested support yet? Because that's where I need to put my stop. I need to put it under that particular support. So the A wave, the B wave and the C wave here for wave 2. I'll get the right degree of structures along the way, but just for the sake of counting. And you know, it's really about getting you to kind of see that you know, where we need to get in. So first of all, this is slightly confirming that we've got an ABC, a corrective pattern here. But what would give it the double strength would to see 5 waves up here. So we've got 1, 2, 3 here so far, an A and a B and a C maybe down to here, I don't know, but we need to see another move up above this high here. How far it goes, I don't know. The extension's in the third wave here, so normally wave 1 and wave 5 will be the same length, but this wave 1 here is kind of pathetic. So what I normally do there is really just take 61.8% of this structure here. I don't know if that's in the rule book or not, but after so many years you know what sort of works a bit. So yeah, that takes us into that 155, so that would be about right if that all plays out at that point. Let me just clean this up here. So one way or another, we want that fifth wave to come in there. So that's what you need to see, because at this stage, this could be just correct. This is just corrective here. This is it could be an ABC pattern here. So we need to we need to see that we need to see that come in, that fifth wave come in here, and then the ABC pattern here. And then it's that B wave here that you need to go long on. It's a bit like this A, B and C here. It's that B wave you go long on, because it's at that point it confirms what's going on. But because we've got 3 waves here, and because we make 5 waves here, it also means that you can buy in this box here. So if we just turn this box green somehow, use border colors, border, no, I don't know what that... That's not working out, but anyway, you could buy back in this box here for that. So that's that, really. Let's just recap that a little bit. Put this back into here. Let's go to the hourly chart here. So that's what we're looking at here. So now you understand this a little bit better. We need to get 5 waves up here, and we can go long on that second high, but also you can go long in that, in this box, you know, in this area through here as well. And the other thing is that we want to we want to go long down here, we want to go long here, and the next port of call up here is to really go, well, you could probably go long above 60 here too if you wanted to get in there a little bit further, but definitely on 72 here, because when we get to the 18 here, it shouldn't be too much of a problem, but we will see some type of you know, sort of thing happen at this point, because 8's a profit taking number, but everybody will know that it's bullish at that point and they'll be piling in as well. So the trick is this is where we're getting in here at this point. And to confirm a blue wave 3 coming up here, so 1 and 2 and blue wave 3, we'll be taking this top of this trend channel out. That's the normal thing as well, but it's nice to know where that is there. And you've got the levels here. The normal swing range when you're dealing with handling 1800 here is group 1 above and group 2 below. Once the 30 here becomes the tested support, then we'll be leaving the 1800, the closest largest number at that point. So that's that. So I have to say it's looking rather positive, which is fantastic. A lot of people have been waiting for this to occur. It's going to put a lot of pressure on the banks holding paper. So we'll see. Anyway, let's have a look at silver. So I'm just going to go to my crazy bullish count where we have wave 4 in over here for this. We could certainly put wave 4 over here in this, technically speaking, because we could look at this as a B wave up here, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 down here for a C wave of wave 4. At this point in time, it doesn't really matter. What we really want to do is make money, so we're looking for a setup. So let me just clean this up. I haven't prepared any of this from yesterday. So as you can see here, what we were looking for here was 5 waves up here, and then looking for an ABC correction, and then we're seeing this move up here. So we obviously talked about going long at this point. I just want to go to the hourly chart where we've got a bit more detail and clean this up here. So we'd been counting this up here as 5 waves, and we've got a little ABC pattern in here. My drawings are like a drunken sailor down at the port, but we will just patch that up here for that. And we weren't far off all of this anyway, so that's all good. Once again, we don't really have 5 waves up here, so I'll take a little bit of liberty here as wave 1 and 2 here, and 3 and 4 and 5 here for this, and then the ABC pattern that can pull back and then push up from there. You may be long in here already above the level, but I didn't really see a good setup there for that, so I would have been a little bit concerned myself, but you may have been in there, so I'll just leave it there in terms really just for the purpose of looking at stops. So with stop losses, we're just going to start off down here for this. I'm just going to leave it out of the way here, guys. But it's the same story here. So in this case here, we want to be going long above this B wave here. We go long above that top there. You can also buy back in over here as well. So the same thing applies here. So we can look at this low, and this high will probably come in close to the old high over here, which would leave us back down at the 50-60% retracement level here. It doesn't have to pull all that way down, but it's just nice to know, where that is. So in a nutshell, the $25 is the support. We want to leave the stop loss under that, and we want to build in as much as you can as this starts to confirm itself more and more in this particular space. So based on that, I'll just leave that there. The other point that I want to make is that this is the time to start looking at buying gold stocks now. So we'll start looking at a few of those, maybe in this video, in the gold video, but also probably any Australian stocks, gold stocks, will probably go into the Australian video. So if any of those interest you, NCM will certainly be going in there, and perhaps a couple of the smaller ones as well. So we'll start looking at those very, very shortly, like in the next video. Alrighty. Yeah, let's see how this plays out. In a nutshell, just to repeat this, is that once this top here is taken out, then it confirms that we're going higher at that point. So that's just an easy way to look at it, rather than try to understand internal wave counts and so on. Okay, thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. Cheers.